Hey, Lisa, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mac.
This isn't
It's
really
glad
a
to see
show,
you.
but we thought what we would do is just talk a little bit about it. So if you are watching this video now, you are either a customer of Boss Builders, or you've seen us at a conference, or maybe you've downloaded some of our stuff. And maybe you don't know us all that well. You've certainly seen me, and you've gotten lots of emails from Lisa. So I'm going to introduce you to Lisa Young. Lisa is our Director of Operations. And Lisa, how long have you been working with us?
Oh my gosh, for 8 years now?
I guess it's been 8 years. It was shortly after we moved to Tennessee in 2014.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, so it has
It's a
been
long
really
time.
great. And, I started out, I just needed somebody to book travel back when travel was a thing. And little by little, you learn more and more. And now you basically run the show. And so I can take vacations once a year, and I don't ever worry about stuff because when I come back, everything is nice and neat. I do know when Lisa goes on vacation that all hell breaks loose. And normally I'm like, oh my God. And when you're back, I feel good because
Okay.
nothing slips through the cracks. When I take care of things, everything falls apart.
I don't know about that.
I did.
You
I
do
told you
fine.
about that time I was flying to Connecticut, didn't I?
Something happened. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
something
We
happened,
had to
right? So no, it
change
wasn't the guy
something.
that slipped in the vomit. That was another story. If you want to hear that story, I'll
No,
save
we
it
don't
for
want to
another.
hear that story.
Do you want to hear the story?
No,
Do you want to hear it? Do you want to hear
not the vomit story, the
wanna
other
hear the
story.
vomit?
What
You wanna hear
happened
the
when I
other
was on
story?
vacation and you were in Connecticut?
Yeah. So anyway, all right, I'll do the vomit story some other time. It was a good one. And I'll never forget
guys.
when it happened. I remember calling you and saying, Lisa, unless my plane crashes, I will not have the worst day on the planet. This guy has just had the worst day on the planet. That was the
Oh.
vomit guy.
Oh, that's not
Remember
good.
when I told you that?
I remember that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you really want to know the vomit story, you're going to have to email me and I will tell it to you directly. All right. But anyway, the other story was I'm getting off the plane in Connecticut, and normally I get a little text from the Hilton Garden Inn where I stay, and they say, hey, your room's ready or whatever. And I thought, I didn't get that check-in. I wonder what happened. So I looked and I didn't have a reservation. I thought, damn it, Lisa, how could you drop the ball? And then I remembered that I booked that trip because you were on vacation. And hence the reason why things fall apart when you're not here. You've spoiled me. That's the problem.
Yeah, I got you spoiled. That's
Well,
okay.
it's good. It's a
try.
good thing. So anyway, we're not here to hear the vomit story or talk about Lisa and I. We want to talk about Boss Builders. And so let's just go back a little bit to 2018, 2019. We were pushing hard. I was on the road 35 weeks a year. We had people that were doing workshops for everywhere. Of course, 2020, February 28th, 2020 was the end of the road. Basically, that was the end of my last road trip, and that was it. And then we decided we would, to use the old famous COVID word, pivot to virtual. And so we did. I think we did a really good job at it. We implemented some drawing tools, and we continued to use the video clips and stories, and we developed our Art of the Great Boss Masterclass. We've been running that thing hard for almost going on 3 years now.
3 years.
And it is by far our best program, but we also began to realize that things are changing. COVID is now in the rearview mirror, and with it, there's a lot of other changes. People are back in the office, or they're fighting to get people back in the office. And not only that, people are interested in having training on site again. And so I know we're maybe a little late getting back to the party, but I think we've done it in a very good way. So Lisa, we basically have, aside from our masterclass, which of course is 13 one-hour sessions, and most people do them once a month. We do have a group now that's doing it every week.
Sweet.
And we've had a group that
A lot.
we thought we were going to do it every other week, but I can tell you every week works really well. And so if you're listening and saying, well, I don't want to wait once a month, I want to do it every week. Hey, we've been doing it. It works out nice. Most people are once a month, gives you a chance to practice the tools. So with that master class, Lisa, how is that priced? If somebody says, look, my team is spread out all over the US and the world, I would love to have you guys come in person, but it is not going to work. How is that priced?
The masterclass is $6,500
Mm-hmm.
for the entire session, and it's an additional $125 per person, which includes the workbooks, the assessments, the journals, and all the extras that you get.
Right, and we have the facilitator guides as well, because with that
Yes.
program, of course, we always encourage people to revisit it during the month. I know that for a lot of people, they do 2 training days a year, and then it's like getting a flu shot, right? You get a shot, and then you're good for the year. But it doesn't work that well, and so we really recommend, periodically. Now, that's not going to work for everybody, but if you really want to spread the learning out, that option's a good one.
I
Now,
think
our
it's a great
second,
option, actually. Just to piggyback on that, I think having the sessions with you is great, but if you don't revisit it and talk about it amongst yourselves, you're losing what you're learning a little bit. So I think it's really important if people could have those meetings in between sessions. I know one of our groups meets right before your next session and talks about how they're doing things. So
yes, that
I
is.
just really want people to do that. I really do. I think it's so important.
It is. I mean, I love the fact that people are willing to outsource their management training to us, but you still have a responsibility. We can provide the content and we can facilitate, but ultimately, you're the ones that are going to have to make sure it grows. And that's already something that we would expect of you. It's not an extra job. And we provide all the tools. We've got really good facilitator guides. In fact, I don't think I have one with me here at the office, but really well done, and we can do that. So that is our 100% remote option. Our second option is what we call driving results. Now, this is something we've always done. We just haven't done a lot of it lately, but actually last year we did 2 or 3 sessions with that group in Pennsylvania.
Right.
So one time they had me come out one day and then turn around and come back a month or 2 later for the second day. The second time I did both days back to back. Here's what's good about that. Number one, you're all in the room. Secondly, if you have a workforce that's kind of spread out and you can make this happen logistically, it's a great chance to get your whole team together. In fact, one group that we used to do a lot of work with would time our 2-day workshop when they would be hiring, I know what it was. It was when they would acquire a new company. And they would bring us in to do their workshop at the same time when they were bringing in a lot of the people from the acquired company to teach them the culture of that acquiring company, not to mention the management skills. So that 2 days worked really well when you bring your people in. If you do it right, you can time team dinners together and really make it an event, and then put something on the other end of that if you wanted to have your town hall meeting or have everybody together. So that 2-day option's great. And what we do in that 2-day option is we start out by giving you an introduction to the role. We take some time to cover communication. We spend a lot of time on the personality. We use the Keirsey temperament sorter, and all of that is done in the first day. Now, the second day is all about performance, and we begin by revisiting what we finished the day before, but then we start into our famous 3-legged stool of great performance, and we build off of that. And the rest of that entire day, we're practicing giving feedback, practice coaching, handling things like attitude problems. And so interactive, which is something that we can do to a point virtual, but in person, we can actually get down and we can really, and I don't say role play for the sake of role play, it's let's practice this. That's the reason why you spar before a boxing match. You want to feel what it feels like to get hit a few times before you get in there for real. And I believe the same thing applies here. So that 2-day driving results program, Lisa, tell us what that costs.
That one is $9,000. Covers everything, max teaching, his travel, everything's included. And then for the participants, it's the $125 per person for all the materials that you get for that one. Again,
Right,
the
so
workbook, the journal, you still get a journal.
Yeah, and then
the
the assessments too. Okay, so that is a great option. And so our third option then, I guess that would be third, wouldn't it, is the hybrid, right? Because now we hear remote work, we hear hybrid work. We thought, well, let's adopt what it is. Hybrid means part remote, part in person. And so what we decided to do is open up the catalog for this one. And so for the 2 days, you get really good components. But for the hybrid, we open up the entire catalog, which means not only are you going to learn about communication, and we're going to do a super deep dive into your temperament, we're also going to cover the things that we don't cover in the 2 days, like problem-solving tools, decision-making tools, how to leverage your power and influence, maybe most importantly, how to navigate organizational politics. And so how we work that program is 3 full-day sessions with me on your home site or wherever you want to do this. In between each of those, we have the remote sessions. And so we'll do the full day. And the full day, the first day, we'll start by doing some introductions, going over the program. We'll get into the expectations of the role, and we will completely go through the communication and the temperament. We'll learn everything about temperament except for one important component, and that'll be the end of day 1 physically. Then everybody goes back. Then our 2 remote sessions are how to deal with conflict. We'll do those remote. We'll build on what we learned with temperament. We'll add some new tools. We'll do that remote. And then the next session is another live session. In that one, we'll spend the entire time going through those performance tools. We'll do a super deep dive on those. When that session's over, we move into the next ones, which is motivation and engagement, and then 2 sessions on tools and their uses. And then our final in-person session, what we'll do is we'll begin with power and influence, how to navigate organizational politics, and we'll end our time together with taking charge of your own career development. As managers, you have to do this for your direct reports, but we also need to make sure you're taken care of. And so we cover that as a way to say goodbye. So that is an entire year of good content. Remember, in between, we meet up. So Lisa, tell us the logistics of that and what the cost is for that.
So for the hybrid session, as Mac said, it's 3 in-person sessions plus 5 virtual sessions. So it's a lot of sessions. It's a lot of time with Mac. The total cost for that is $17,500. And again, it's $125 per person for all the materials, assessments, workbooks, all the fun stuff that goes along with it.
Excellent. Well, that just leaves us with our 4th and final we have kind of one after that, but this one here may be of interest, especially if you're the organization that has a really robust training and development division, a lot of people who are interested in learning how to train, which, by the way, I think is a great management skill in itself. And so if you would like to teach the material yourself and just use our material, we actually license our curriculum, and you can go ahead and buy the license. Now it stays with your organization. So if you have one of your trainers there that wants to get licensed by Boss Builders and they're there for 2 weeks and then they leave and they can't take it with them, it belongs to you. So we want to prevent that, because I know that's an issue for some of you. You will have access to the curriculum and support by us. Mm-hmm. So Lisa, what does that look like in terms of logistics and price?
So the curriculum purchase is buying our curriculum. You also get Mac to come out one day to do a train the trainer, because we want to make sure that our program is being taught the right way, the way Mac would do it. And so that total cost is $7,000. Mm-hmm. It includes his travel, everything, including the curriculum. And then again, $125 for the materials that go along with it. When we do the purchase curriculum, we also still do the assessments, which means you'll be working with me to hand out all the assessments to get everything to you. So you're not all by yourself. We're still here for you.
That's good. Yeah, that's the one thing I want you to know, is that we're here to support you. We're not going anyplace. But I think this is a really good option. And honestly, I don't want to say this because it takes work away from us, which is kind of important to us, but in some ways, having your own managers teach your management curriculum, that provides a lot of oversight and accountability. You know, we can show up, we can do it, and then we're gone. Once we're gone, sometimes those lessons get forgotten. But if you have your own people who are leading these, then the accountability is there. And the good news is that person's there. Hey, I have a question about what we talked about, and that person's right there. So that is certainly an option. The last thing that we have, I think, for managers is our single programs, our what do we call those? Our one short topic seminars, I think we call them.
I think we call them short topic seminars.
Short topics,
yeah, they're 1 hour sessions.
Yeah, mm-hmm. So there's a whole wide range of those available. We do those virtual, which means we'll use our sketch and seminar format, which is the drawing, for those of you that remember the drawing. Oh, and here's another thing too. If you're worried, well, I can't draw like Mac. Well, don't worry, because I can't really draw either, right? I have an iPad and they're very forgiving. So what looks like a simple stick drawing might take me an hour to do. I don't expect you to draw. And so everything that we are licensing and everything that we will do on site, it will be done with the same drawings, but we'll use PowerPoint. You won't have to worry about having to draw. Now, if you want to learn how to flip chart that stuff, when we do our Train the Trainer, I will show you how, and I'll show you the materials. I'll bring some with me and we can practice that together. You might actually really enjoy that. And I have never heard a group say, oh, how disappointing, there's no PowerPoint for this presentation. So I don't think you need to worry about that, would you?
No.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about drawing. I don't draw, and it would terrify me, but Mac has it all ready. We've got this great book that's all ready for you.
Yeah,
we'll send you all the videos that you need, everything for the purchase.
Yeah, we try to make it as in fact, even the materials that you need, because there's some weird materials like $100 bills.
Yes.
Yeah, they're fake now. So, well, actually, you know what? They're real. So you have to pay us $100 for each of those $100 bills.
No, you don't. They're fake.
Okay, yeah, they're fake ones.
Yeah.
But you'll have everything you need, including the directions on how to facilitate the activity. So
Yes.
I hope that's enough information to kind of maybe move you to that decision point where you say, I better call up Mac and Lisa and see if we can start this up. So the best place to reach us, Lisa, what would you say? Probably our website, do you think?
Probably the website. It's thebossbuilders.com. You can always reach out to me directly at lisa@thebossbuilders.com.
Mm-hmm. And
Reach out to me, not Mac, because I'm in charge.
yeah, Lisa actually is the boss. Yeah,
And then
I'm
I
the
talk to
former
him.
boss of Boss Builders, right?
Not really. Mac is the boss.
Yeah, but Lisa does make sure the trains run on time. Speaking of which, the train's going by in case you heard the whistle blowing.
Did not hear it.
Yeah, well, that's good. So anyway, check us out, thebossbuilders.com. You can always call. It is 931-221-2988. Lisa at thebossbuilders.com. And of course, it's Mac, M-A-C-K, at thebossbuilders.com. Lisa, thanks for chatting with us today and helping us kind of figure out the best next move and the pricing and all that. And we are looking forward to your call or your email.
Absolutely. We would love to talk with you. So just give us a call.
All right. Thank you. And we'll look forward to seeing you at your home site pretty soon.
Yay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.